Hello, welcome back. We are playing Frog Errant or Mausritter. If you are returning to the channel, thank you very much for coming back. We are about to play our 9th session of Frogritter. It's gone on for much longer than I thought it was going to, and I'm really quite enjoying Lamorak and the whole of the setting and Mausritter as a whole. Yes, if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. It will help our numbers and it will boost the presence of the channel, which is awesome, always awesome. And I can't remember if I said if you are subscribed. If you are subscribed, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. We hit past 500 just recently, and I am so grateful for all of your support and everybody who has ever watched anything that I've done, and everybody who's ever commented, anybody who's ever hit a like button, and all of you at this present moment, 508 people who hit subscribe. Thank you so much. And on the likes, if you do like what you see, do hit the old thumb. It's much appreciated. And again, any comments that you have, please put them down. So, Lamorak has been moving around the Old Crags Farm as Solomon the cat gave him a lead that there were some fairies there. Of course, let's mention before I move these out of the way, Frog Errant is by Matthew Morris, who's written some awesome things, Mausritter involving, and of course Mausritter itself is Isaac Williams. And we have the box set which we're utilising. Beautiful books in a beautiful box set. It really is worth it. It's a really nice box set. So our frog has explored the outsides of Old Crags Farm, and he's secured 2 agents. There is still 1 agent left. The 1 agent is definitely in this front room because we saw him or her as we were trying to vault into the kitchen and go through. Or was that when we were across? No, it was when we were vaulting in the kitchen. When we vaulted across the other side of the kitchen to explore the sunroom, we saw the agent in this room here. We have this final room here. Now, what I was just thinking just before I clicked record on all of these things is this is possibly upstairs. That this is now in an upstairs room, maybe above the sunroom, or maybe this is a room, the bedrooms upstairs in the farmhouse for Old Crags Farm. So we will have Lamorak, because he's already over here, and so he doesn't have to traverse the trap, which is the sunroom. Don't know if you remember, it was the floorboards, and he used various things that he found to get across the floorboards to come across and into the other side. But what we'll do is get into the stairs, and then he'll hop his way up, hop his way up the stairs to get upstairs and explore upstairs. And then we'll find a way of, I don't know, maybe we'll abseil down or something James Bond-esque, frog James Bond adventurous. So, Lamorak is going to be voyaging up. Now we can, if we take a rest, we can try and get a new feat, and we do have enough experience to get a new feat, but we're not quite at rest time. As we're progressing through, we're not even sort of at lunchtime yet, so he can't really have his cheese and biscuits and his cup of tea. But he will explore this area and continue up into the next area, which would be the upstairs. Where's my lovely rule book go? So first things first, we know there's 1 agent there. Well, let's see. So what were we on our pressure point? Our pressure point was I will talk as I clear the dice out. Our pressure point was at an 8. So we could say, is this area, so we know there's not or there might be a 4th agent. Maybe that person in the other room wasn't an agent. So I think it's very unlikely to be a yes. So we are going to take the high, a high of these 2, and we're going to ask, so we've gone up the stairs. So Lamorak is going to slowly take his time. Hopty. I don't like stairs. Stairs and nights do not go well together. I think I'd prefer it to be flat. And we're going to see if when he reaches upstairs, we'll describe it as a bedroom. We'll see what's in there. But first off, is there an agent in there? I think the answer would be no, is more likely. So we'll take the highest of these 2. Our pressure point is 8. For the outcome table, so the oracle within Frog Errant uses a pressure point. You roll a d20. If it's above the pressure point, then the difference gives you a no, but, no, no, and, or complication. So the highest of these two is an 18. 18 is 10 higher, so no and. No and is this is an extreme no, and there are consequences. So there is definitely no agent up here, but we will say this is where the portal is. Now we were trying to find a portal, and so there will be possibly there's no agent because there was an agent up here and we see an agent leave. There we go. So there was an agent up here. So this is where there is a portal. But first, let's see what our adventure seed toolbox gives us for this room. So we roll a d6 and it says a 2, which is empty. So beyond the fact that this is, so we won't bother looking up, we've got empty room feature d20. I'll roll it anyway just for the sheer heck of it. 15 shiny candy wrapper banners. Okay, that's okay. So this is a bedroom, and in the bedroom, are there any creatures? 1 to 3 is a yes. Nope. Is there a treasure? 1 is a treasure. No. Okay. So Lamorak comes into this room. The room is a bedroom around a... Okay, there's a bedroom, mouse hole portal. He will enter the room and it's quite a small bedroom. It's a single bed. For some reason I'm imagining, I don't know if anyone has watched Shaun the Sheep, but the farmer's bedroom. It's small bed. There's the first thing that Lamorak notices is that one corner of the room, as in on the floor level corner, there is a mouse hole that looks quite weird and shimmering, and as he notices it, he could see that there's somebody has just left, and the surface of the mouse hole ripples and then goes solid and looks like wood. And around the mouse hole there are several banners which have been put up, as in decoratively, which look like to be shiny and glistening wrappers of this portal. So will Sir Lamorak have a look through this portal and see where it leads? I think he will. He can go and tell the mouse afterward, the owl. So this is in square 7, which is Old Crag Farm. So Old Crag Farm is here. So we will roll a d20, re-rolling 20s, and find out where it comes out. 18, or it's not much of a portal. So basically, it jumps to there, and 18 is forest. There's the sunken hollow. So we have a portal between Old Crags Farm and the sunken hollow, which isn't very imaginative portal. Isn't a very imaginative portal at all. So it just goes between those two there. So basically we go to there, and then we don't need to do a day's travel to get to here. So it reduces the travel between there, and that's where we find out this portal is, which removes one of the hidden roads and portals, which is one of the resources that the Fairy Queen has. I rolled in between sessions. The Fairy Queen did not increase her attempts to settle into the Feylands, which would then push her forwards towards achieving her goals and winning the campaign, as it were. So Lamorak has found the final portal. We will cross off 2 notches of turns, and Lamorak will now attempt to go back to the front room. Now, what he's going to have is he can look out the window, and he can look out the window and look down. And as he's looking down over the little small roof, which is above the outhouse and near where the sunroom is, he can see into the living room, and he can see that there is an agent in there. Now, what is the agent doing? Let's roll on the sparks table. Green is action, red is subject. 13, persecute. 6, word. Persecute word. Persecute word. Okay, so the fairy agent is down there giving a speech. So he's persecute word. He's giving a speech to, I guess it's a load of mice, to a collection of mice who are standing there. And Lamorak will need to go down there to work out what it is, what's going on. Now, I think if we roll trap or puzzle, we will re-roll for what that room is. Now, Lamorak needs to try and work his way down there. He could go, oh, shall he make a dramatic entrance? Let's see if he can make a dexterity check. No, he's going to use one of his prowess to automatically succeed in making a dexterity check. And he is going to attempt to a mixture of slipping on wet tiles, wet roofing tiles, and sliding and tripping over guttering. He is going to dramatically jump, fall, through the window of the living room and smash into the front room where the agent is giving a talk. And for that, I'm going to roll, is there an encounter? No, there's no encounter. So he hasn't awoken the humans in, oh, we could do, has he awoken the humans? Has he awoken the humans in the household? Now we're going to roll a low on this one because there's more chance for yes, because we've got a pressure point of 8, even a 9. So a 9 is the lowest of the two, is one above, which is a no. So none of the humans have been made aware that Sir Lamorak has come dramatically crashing through the window. He used his prowess, so he's automatically survived, so he's made the success as the roll. He lands on his flippers in front of the agent, and we will roll to see what is in the room. Remember, we're re-rolling trap and puzzle. 6, layer. That's perfect, isn't it? Okay, layer. Let's roll on what the layer table is. It says 6, permanent home, comfortably appointed. Okay, so this is the layer of something. Could the fairy have enchanted a cat? What could we say this is the layer of? What creatures do we have here? Okay, so I'm thinking that we could have 3 things. 3 things are quite interesting here that this fairy might have. So it's giving a speech to some mice. We've got 3 things that I think are quite interesting for the creatures in the creatures section. So we'll use the creatures which are in the main book. We'll just use these ones for now. Fernando, I don't know if I mentioned this, he suggested Kiwi Towers, not Kiwi Towers, Kiwi Acres, which is in New Zealand. I think I mentioned it last session because it was a week ago, but I've been reading those and they're quite good, and I really do like the idea of sending Sir Lamorak there. And we've got this is episode 9, so maybe after episode 10 we'll see how next episode goes and what we can do with Sir Lamorak. I'm also going to have to think, so after we've cleared the agents of here and we've gotten rid of the portals, what would be... Oh, the Fairy Queen can escape to New Zealand and we follow her there. Sorted. Right, so we are potentially going to have a ghost is appointed in here and lives here. We've got a cat, though we have already faced a cat, we haven't faced a ghost. And there's a possibility of like a spider. So we have a spider, a ghost, or a cat. I think the ghost is possibly the most interesting, and potentially that the fairies have enchanted a ghost, and the fairy will set a ghost on Sir Lamorak, which is interesting. And we'll use what Fernando suggested, which was from Khan, which is that when fighting multiple opponents, you roll all the damage dice and you just take the highest number. Instead of rolling multiple attacks, it's a bit less lethal. So I am going to say 1 is a cat, 6 is a spider, all the others it's a ghost. 6 is a spider. Oh well, I thought a ghost would have been interesting. Shall we just keep it? No, we'll do a spider. Right, so a large spider will creep down. Yeah, all right then. So we're fighting a spider. Spider has armor. I mean, a ghost can only be damaged with silver weapons, but Sir Lamorak does still have his silver short sword, so it wouldn't really have made much odds. All right, but we are going to make this spider a bit of a beefy spider. So let me write down a beefy spider. So Sir Lamorak is going to dive down through the window, crashing to the ground. There's an unvarnished bare wood floor with a small ratty rug in the middle. Sitting upon that rug there is an old box of biscuits, maybe a Christmas box, a Christmas selection box tin, a Christmas selection tin of biscuits, and standing atop that, wearing a silver gown, looking very regal, is a fairy who is giving a talk, a speech rather, to a selection of mice, maybe half a dozen mice who are all scattered, looking a bit confused and a bit unsure. And standing next to the fairy, there is a large hairy spider. We have huntsmen in this country. I set this in the UK. We don't have huntsmen. But let's say that, the portal that goes between the two has brought the huntsman back. All right there, Cobber. He's the spider. All right there. I don't know, that's awful. I'll just say Cobber a lot and you'll know it's Australian. And so the spider is standing next to the fairy who's giving, and this is why we should always defer to the fairy queen. Mice of Old Crags Farm, you should not be staying here. Come back with me to the settled realms and be a willing worker for the fairy queen. As you can see, your home has been destroyed. You are vagrants and vagabonds. Return with us. Stand fast, I say. Stand fast and do not listen to this fiend, for there are better places for a mouse kind than in the thrall of a fairy scum. I say, who are you? And this is where we're going to get Lamorak to make a will roll with disadvantage to see if he is imposing enough that the mice will go, oh, listen to the frog. I say listen to the frog. Okay, he failed that, and so I am going to spend a prowess to allow him to pass it automatically, which gives him 2 prowess left for the incoming battle with a fairy and a spider. Big one as well, come on. All right, throw another prawn on the Barbie. I'm a spider, I eat flies. Throw a fly on the Barbie. I'm so sorry. So, the mice are going to go, oh, quick, run. And they'll all scarper, leaving a very disgruntled looking fairy staring at Lamorak. Now then, Frog, why would you have to ruin the Fairy Queen's plans? I have been working quite extensively with those horrible little mice to try to get them to come. We had to organise for some of the large people to come and tear up the floorboards, and we had to decimate this farm over the last few months, and you have ruined it. Herman, all right there, get him. And the spider is going to scuttle off towards Lamorak, who will form up behind his shield and make a dexterity check. 18. He's rolling a lot of 18s. Lamorak, I'm going to get rid of that one. We're going to use that one. Lamorak, failing his dexterity check, is completely put off by all these legs coming all at once as the spider, who I've forgotten the name, I just called him straight away, comes in to attack Lamorak with a spidery bite. He has a poisonous bite, which is a D6. And our fairy is wielding a silver rapier, which I remember is a D8. Correct. So we will roll a D8 and a D6 for the opposition, and the highest is what Lamorak is impacted with, which is a 5. So the fairy gets in the way of the oncoming spider, diving down, wings aflutter. He swoops in and attempts to skewer Lamorak, doing 5 points of damage. Lamorak catches part on his shoulder and part on his shield, negating 3 points, doing 2 points going through to poor Lamorak, making Lamorak down to 1 hit point. Lamorak may have to scutter off and take a turn to do a heal of himself, which doesn't actually, which would restore. Short rest takes a turn. He doesn't have time for a short rest. He's just going to have to fight. So Lamorak will turn and think that the spider is possibly the biggest threat out of the two of them. And Lamorak is going to, maybe he'll drop his shield because then he can do a D8 damage. No, the shield is too important to him. So Lamorak will jump in and try to use the spider to block the fairy's attacks and begin to attack the spider with his sword and shield, doing 5 points, knocking that down from 1 because of the spider's fur is quite thick and hard for the sword to go through, meaning only 4 points go through, taking the spider back a bit and making the spiders look a bit worried by this powerful blow was much more than he was expecting. And the spider will then turn and go to bite Lamorak again, as the fairy will take advantage of this and attempt to duck underneath Lamorak's guard. What do? We have another 5, which puts another 2 points through, but that's a rapier, so that's a strength damage. But actually, Lamorak is going to spend 1 prowess to negate that damage, meaning, or does he do? No, he'll negate it rather than pass the throw. I'm giving him 1 prowess left, 1 hit point, and he's still got 14 strength left. This then gives Lamorak, because of his boosted courage, will then dive in at the spider to try and remove the spider from the fray. Sadly, only catching the spider slightly on one of its legs as it scutters back out of Lamorak's reach. As Lamorak begins to worry that this may be 1 part too much and he may not be able to finish off this fight, and it may end sooner than he was hoping. Both the spider and the fairy are definitely feeling very sure of themselves now as they both attack simultaneously. Oh dear. He's going to use his last prowess. He will use his last prowess, leaving him 0 prowess to defend himself with, as Lamorak turtles down behind his shield, and as all the blows rain down on him, he then springs up, strikes the spider. Give us a high roll. 7, that'll do. 1 point of that is negated by the fur, which then puts 6 points through, reducing its strength to 5, meaning the spider is struck an almighty blow, crippling his legs. There's a snap as one of the spider's legs breaks. He goes, "Oh, now, cobber, you broke me bloody leg, me blooming leg. You broke me blooming leg, cobber." And he's going to drag himself off to a corner, as the fairy will stand saying, "Now, that was quite unexpected, I must say. But if you were to, say, yield, perhaps I won't have to kill you." And Lamorak will just laugh. "Ha! I'm so sorry, fairy, but the knights of below the tree do not yield." And the fairy will then dart in with his fairy sword, doing 6 points, taking 3 points off because of armor, taking that 1, taking his strength down to 12, meaning Lamorak needs to try and make a save under 12. 5. That's all he needs. Lamorak gears himself up and decides that really, oh god, what happens if he, this is, I don't know, for some reason this is feeling, maybe it's because it's got quite warm, but this is feeling very bad for Lamorak. Oh, he might do it. 6 hit points. Come on, Lamorak. This is now Lamorak's. Come on, Lamorak. Let's change from the red one to the green one. I'm going to change to my green D8. Come on, Lamorak. Come on, Lamorak. 4 points. Not enough. Lamorak dives in, doing 4 points of damage against the fairy, who looks quite affronted by this. I say, now then, I think, as I am a fairy, and I have a will of 15, and my spider companion has just been bested, and the DM is quite terrified of killing his hero Lamorak, I think I'm going to make a morale check. Because if we look in this table here, this is all the fairy talking, we'll see there's a section called morale. In fact, I'll show it to you. It's here, morale. And what it says is, make a will save for a creature when it is obviously outmatched at the start of a battle. No. Takes critical damage for the first time. No. Sees an ally flee or fail. Well, yes. Yes, indeed. He did do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a plain and simple, I'm going to try this one because it keeps rolling 18s, will check. His will, my will, sorry, as a fairy ambassador, is 15. And I pass because I am very sure of myself. So the fairy is going to, being sure of himself, I'm going to switch to, no, I'll keep that for Lamorak and this one for the fairy. The fairy will dart in thinking, I've got this. 8 points. All right, so Lamorak takes 8 points. That's going to take his strength down to 4. Okay. Strength down to 4. Alright, so he's got 0 strength down to 4. So that means we need to make a 4 on this. It's been known. Oh, missed the table. 4! So Lamorak succeeds in his strength check. Just about pulls it all together. He's really badly injured. He's bleeding quite profusely. He basically needs to roll more than a 2 on this to make that fairy take a strength check, because he'll make a strength check and then I'll make him make another will check. 6. And so that will take him down to 0 hit points. It will take him down to a strength of 6, which means he needs to make a 6 strength check. I bet he makes it. No, he fails it. And then he'll make a will check. I bet he makes it. Yeah, he makes it. So the fairy is struck a mortal blow, drops to his knees, coughs. I say. Let's make him. I say, will you let me go? I say, why? A little bit of blood on his cheek. Perhaps I can, is there such a thing as a healing spell? If there's a healing spell, I think he is going to offer to heal Lamorak. Here, there is a healing spell. I say, heal sum, which is the sum of the dice, strength damage, and remove the injured condition from a creature. So Lamorak is injured. No, he hasn't. No, he would be injured, wouldn't he? Because he's, well, you know, he's badly injured. All right. I say, if I was to heal you and promise to never work for the Fairy Queen again, would you let me go? Oh, I don't think Lamorak would do that, would he? No, he's a knight. He's a knight errant. No, I think I've been playing too many bad characters just recently. I'm terribly sorry, Fairy, but I need to take you to justice. Oh, bum. And with that, I think Lamorak will round up the 3 fairies that he has captured, 3 fairy agents he's captured. He will acknowledge that he has done a job well done in removing the threat of shape-shifting agents as a resource has been removed. There's still one more portal around here. Possibly whilst he's rounding up, maybe in here. Let's make him make. Let's give the poor fragile frog a roll on the treasure table, because I don't know, there might be something. Let's give him 2 rolls. 2 rolls? 2 rolls on the treasure table. 2 4s. What's a 4? 4. Valuable treasure. Oh, there's a lot there. Okay, we're going to give him valuable treasure and another one actually. 1 valuable treasure. 1. What's 17? That's a purse containing pips. Oh, I really want to have a magic sword. Magic sword would be cool. We could just give him a magic sword. We could give him a magic sword for you know, his hard work. Oh, we haven't marked any of the usage for work whilst he was fighting, have we? We'll just make him buy loads of new stuff when we get back. Okay, we do have. Okay, so what do we have? We had 1 more roll. Come on, roll a 1. Roll a 1. Roll a 1. What's a 9? Was that a 9? Yeah, 9. Useful treasure. Wow. All right, he's got 2 pieces of value and a purse. The purse contains a d6 times 10 pips. Contains 40 pips. He will give that to some of the mice who are running away. And the valuable treasure, we've got 4, a gold ring worth 500 pips. And we've also got 5, a polished diamond worth 1,000 pips. So I think with both of those, he's going to donate those to the mice who are trying to survive. So all those mice get to take that back to below the tree. So Lamorak will go around and he will visit the owl. Hello there, Sir Knight. Woot-woo. Ah, owl. Let's say Sir Lamorak has had a chance to have a bit of a rest before this. So he hasn't got an all-night rest. He's just rested and done a d6 plus 1 hit points back. massive 2 hit points. So he's got 2 hit points back, and then he's going to have to go back home and have a big long sleep. Hello, Sir Lamorak.
Hello, Al. My side quite hurts.
Let me tell you about a portal. And he tells the owl about the portal, which is in the bedroom and how that works. Oh, that's a shame. It sounds too small for me. But who knows, you may find another one. Woo! And so Lamorak will then collect up the 2 fairies. Now let's see, are those rats that he caught, are they still there or have they gone off? They're still there. And he takes those rats back as well. So he has a long procession of fairies tied up and rats tied up that he leads back to below the tree. There's a bit of a celebration as he returns to below the tree. Ray, ray, ray. And Sir Lamorak is welcomed back by Uthar, Knight Commander.
Ah, Sir Lamorak, I see you have done very well. Why, thank you, Knight Commander. I see you have vanquished the
Fairy, I was going to say elf.
problems. I have, Knight Commander.
And so, as such, Sir Lamorak will now get, what does he get? He gets, when quests are completed, he gets a D4 plus to his hit points. 4! So that gives him a total of 13 hit points. I thought Sir Lamorak was going to die then. He's going to get, so his strength goes back to 14. Then he is going to roll a d20 for each of his attributes. If it is higher than the attribute, it gets to go up by 1. So strength goes up by 1 to 15. Dexterity, which is 14. I'll count that as going up by 1. Does it say? We're going to say it goes up by 1. And his willpower is 13. No, his willpower doesn't go up by 1. He then now has completed 3 quests. He still hasn't got his doom of the human bits. So he would get a new doom, which is a d6. 2, that's human traps will wound you. 5, it will happen underground. And he has to have, who will receive a new quest. 2, meet a ghost and free its spirit. Alright, I'm going to roll action and spark. I'll also have a look. So he's got several thousand. So what has he got? 1,500. So he's got 2,000 XP, I think. So he had 468 plus 150 plus 1,500. So I'm going to say he's got plus that 250 there. Oh, maybe 2,500 XP. 2,500 XP, and he will donate all the money from the string of pearls to the mice of under the tree. Thank you, Sir Lamorak. You're so kind. And he'll donate his 250 extra pips that he was carrying. Oh, Sir Lamorak, so much money. Thank you so much. And now we will roll spark and action to see where we might find this ghost. Reds first. 15, 17. Whip. Madness. So Lamorak is going to spend the night resting. In fact, he is going to spend a week resting up and repairing, and then he will be training to get extra talents. And next session, session 10, we will find out where Lamorak is going to go and see if he can succeed in vanquishing or freeing a ghost spirit, freeing a ghost, and possibly finding the final mystic road of the Fairy Queen and opening up the way into the Antipodeans. The Antipodes. I think it's the Antipodes. Antipodes? Antipodeans? I don't know. Australia, New Zealand. Thank you very much for joining me for this session of Frog Errant. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for staying with me, and thank you very much for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. It helps us very much. If you like what you saw, please hit the thumb. And if you have any comments whatsoever about what sessions, what other materials I might check out, please let me know in the comments below. Enough of that. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.